is doing a historical mosaic one in November. But I don't have any. I've never taken a mosaic one mosaic.
So this is May. So next month, and Karen's going to talk more about it when she does her show and tell. Next month we're at Karen's house. She's got a brand new studio. She's showing off, and since she's a former jeweler, we're going to be doing she'll talk more about it, a mosaic thing with jewelry stuff. So we're going to be actually at her house down in Inglewood. And that's for June. July we usually take off, so there is no meeting for July. And in August, we have a Zoom with Austin, and it's our turn to host. So we have Lawrence Payne, who runs Roman Mosaic Workshops, who's going to be attending or running. He'll do like an hour-long thing. He loves talking about the 6 rules of Roman Mosaic and Andamento and stuff. Then in September, Felicity, who isn't here today, we're going to be making a substrate, like a wavy substrate, and then
I've never done this.
October we have an artist, Joy Lynn, who is doing a Zoom with us with Austin, and she's the one. I don't know if you went to CMA too. She's the artist. Her mosaics almost look like a painting. Yeah. November, we tentatively have like a community mosaic. We did one, I don't know, last year where we all kind of made a piece and kind of put it together, and people like that'd be kind of fun if we, we all made pieces that came into one kind of thing. So we haven't quite figured that out, what we're doing for that. And then in December is our holiday party. I think we're going to try to have it here again because it's free.
Hey, glad you all are here today. Awesome. Great attendance. I'm Renee Walkup. I'm the president of this fine organization. I have a couple of announcements that Nancy has asked me to make. 2 works of art were sold at this last exhibition. Marlea pronounce it for me.
National ponies.
Okay, congratulations.
They're in France. They really are beautiful. I got to see them.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And Margaret, how do you pronounce your last name?
Beneke.
Beneke, thank you. Beneke's the Emerald Coast. So congratulations, Margaret. And then she didn't give me information about the upcoming show, but you all should have received that in your newsletter. If you're not getting your newsletters, please let Eliza know. She's sitting right there. She has the terracotta colored mug, and she'll make sure you're on the list. Also, if you have been getting your newsletters and you haven't lately, check your spam box. They could be there. And that's all I've got. Pam?
This coming Saturday at 10 o'clock will be the next group meeting. It'll be at my house. And we'll be providing all of the glass. You just need to bring your glass cutting tools with you. We'll have the adhesive and everything set up so you can help work a little bit on some of the next stage of assembly. We've been in the newspaper twice so far, so we're famous. And Pam and I worked leading up workshops for the special needs adults. We had 40 adults, I believe, that worked over the days, and we're thrilled to be a part of it. So,
And to backtrack a little bit, because some people might not know,
yes,
we're making a 5 by 5 foot mosaic that's going in the lobby of the Grove.
it's 5 foot by 5 foot. We've already constructed. I've hired a framer that has built a frame around it. We've got everything set up.
And when is our finale?
The grand finale is going to be hung up September 1st.
Because they're ahead of schedule.
They're ahead of schedule.
Wow, with the building.
That
Yeah.
you would think, but we had such a warm winter
Yeah.
that
And so you guys are we're creating some of the leaves.
Yes.
And then some of the leaves were created out of clay by some of the special needs adults.
yes.
So they'll be kind of incorporated into the leaves design.
Okay.
So we haven't done a pro bono. Marlea, when was the last time we did a pro bono?
We did it for the veterans, and it was during the COVID, and we never got to see it. We gave it to them, and they hung it up. They sent us a picture of it up, but nobody's ever visited it, so it's not bad. But
So it's been a little while since we've done a pro bono project. So also ones in the past, we did one for Children's Hospital, and then there was one that went to, was it Mexico or Brazil or?
Africa,
Ghana, that's
And
right.
then we've got one down with the people that feed people downtown. Angel Heart Helping Hands. Angel Heart, very good, thank you.
What other announcements do we have before we get to show and tell? You got anything?
Especially if you've been in the organization for a while, we know we all love this place. Please step up. If you haven't done anything on the board, then please volunteer. It's not a lot of work, and somebody called me a liar, but it really is not a lot of work. I mean, whatever you do, like if you're taking notes at the meeting, that's 5 times a year, right? That's hard to take notes 5 times a year, pass them on, so these jobs aren't terribly challenging. So please do step up. Okay, thank you.
All right, so next we're going to do show and tell, and just to be nice to the people that are actually showing and telling, we're going to not dig for rocks or not shuffle rocks around because some people can't be as loud as I can. All right, who's on the end would like to talk?
We're going to be making jewelry, mosaic jewelry, and I am a jewelry designer, and I'm providing a lot of tiny tesserae for all of you to use. But if you have your own special charms, pieces, if you have a diamond, whatever, you're welcome to bring that along. And this is a technique where we lay epoxy sculpt into an empty bezel. And I have, here are some, you come up and look at this, here are some examples of what we do. I have different shapes, ovals, squares, rectangles, etc. I also have a lot of different ways to make earrings out of this too. And I'll provide all the materials for you. So the only thing you need to bring is your special tesserae if you want to use it in your jewelry. I am insisting that you RSVP. I have a brand new studio. This is the biggest thing in my life, to be an artist and get your own studio. It's big. It has an 8-foot by 8-foot square table. I can fit 16 people in the studio. If there are more of you coming, I have a patio right outside where we'll set up a tent and another table. And but you must RSVP because I'm going to have materials for all of you, and I want to make sure I have enough and I have it ready for you.
So it's a scarab, jeweled scarab, and I don't do a lot of work with bugs. Most of you have been to my studio and I'm not the bug person, but it's a collaboration, and I'm working with a lot of young people, and they like bugs. I like food, but the food was mixed, and we ended up with bugs. So anyway, I wanted it to be very iridescent. I used Weedy, and I had hundreds of bags out on my tables to work, and I rejected so many and ended up with this, and I was happy with it. I think that she came out, thank you, she came out kind of fun. So that's my bug story. It'll be in Windsor.
Bob, did you get a
At
picture?
an art show. I have a new picture of me. Bob, just get the scarab face.
I started doing this, I collected sketchbooks, blank sketchbooks. And I thought, well, I like to draw outside, I like to draw people, stuff like that. So I like to have a small sketchbook that I can keep it in my purse and just sketch, especially if you're sitting at the airport for 2 hours, you need something to do. So I've got a lot of these, and I just decided, I gotta be doing more of this. So what I do is, I was a printmaker forever, and I just grab pieces of paper and glue it down on another piece of paper, and then try to figure out what it's going to do. So I was playing with this, and I came up with this little village, and I'm like Pam, I've got a lot of stuff around in my studio that I've never used.
Oh,
and I
we're not the
collected.
only ones.
Oh, I know. There's a room full of them. So it's stained glass, and it was a box, and my clever husband put D-rings on the back of it. So, yeah, and
I have a show coming up. I kind of promoted it last time we were here. And if you didn't get one last time, I have postcards for my show. It's called Silent Empires. It's Roman, Byzantine, Zalij, and some Greek mosaics. And it opens May 29th down at Next Gallery down by Casa Bonita. And it's up for 3 weeks, so it's up until June 14th. So if you're interested in going, have to be down that way. So this is one of my pieces that's going to be in the show. So this piece, I just happened to find this piece of wood that already had a little thing on it. It's not super strong, so I did put like a wire or two on it so it could hang on. And then if you didn't see my video on Facebook or whatever, I've tried to figure out, you know, you always have like those wires that stab you or whatever. So I found shrinkable tubing. So now I like wind the wire, put the shrinkable tubing over the ends, and then use a heat gun and shrink them up. So now all the sharp ends are coming.
What is shrinkable tubing?
Electricians use it. So like when they have ends of wire that they don't want to expose, it's just this tubing and you just slide it on, hit it with a heat gun, and it shrinks.
Oh, heat gun. Melts around.
Yeah.
Does it come in a roll?
The ones I bought came in like little 2-inch segments. And so there's one and there's two.
That's so smart.
Yeah, because I'm tired. Like I am used to getting stabbed, but then other people pick it up. They're like, it's sharp. So now I spent an entire day because I already had the wires on stuff. I took the wires off, slid the stuff back on, heated them up, put them back in the wrapping. Anyways, it does have a keyhole hanger on here, which I would never use. Please don't ever use a keyhole, especially our stuff is too heavy. But yeah, so, and I don't expect this little kickstand is going to last very long. It's kind of tiny. But you've ever been to Ravenna and gone to, and the ceiling has all of these stars on it. So I made one of the stars. I generally do not use Smalty because it's expensive and heavy. So this is all mostly vitreous. And one thing I think I showed you guys Artwork Archive a couple meetings ago or something. I just found a new feature on it. I can print off labels and I can print off QR codes. So if you scan this QR code, it goes to this piece on my website, and I included information about the piece.
What? Fancy.
Yes. And I decided, because I have this solo show and then I have 5 art festivals this summer, which may be overachieving. Hanging up at art festival, a lot of the time is like hanging up the tag. So what I'm doing is I have these little S hooks. So I'm just taking my tag and attaching it to the back of the artwork. So when I go to hang the artwork in my booth, I just take the tag off, hang it on my booth. When I'm done, just put it back on the back.
Okay, so this is my piece from the library show.
I loved it.
I was looking for, I'm always looking to have some kind of, sweetness, like something that will make you smile, that kind of thing. It's called No Place I'd Rather Be, because who wouldn't want to be here? It was my first time trying some sand, which actually glued down very, very well. So that was amazing. And then doing 3D for the palm tree and just having everything stick up a little bit, using some epoxy sculpt. So there you go.
Beautiful.
Looks good.
Sue, what did you do from I see the windows, the outline on the window. What is that?
Yeah.
That actually is just grout that I painted.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh,
Oh,
yes.
nice.
So some places where I needed that
Yeah.
thin line, I just used grout. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
So this was my first abstract. So I was interested to see if people had feedback on where to get advice for doing abstracts, or I don't know, maybe you have thoughts on it. I really wasn't sure where to go with it. I made a bigger piece, and this was really the leftover glass. And I started with a picture of a thunderstorm, and then I abstracted it. And I think it's kind of fun, but I don't know. I don't see a lot of abstract glass on glass, so I felt like I was sort of going rogue. I don't know what people were thinking, or if there's other thoughts, or maybe artists that do this that I just haven't noticed yet. Same.
Have you put your hanger on the back yet?
No.
So you're going to hang it in the window? I'm just curious how you're going to.
So what I usually do with these is I put D-rings on them, and then the one that's sold at the library, somebody's hanging in a window, I guess. As long as you don't put it on a suction cup or something.
Do you use wire or?
What I actually do is I have a bay window. So I have like, I don't know, about 12 inches of ceiling, and then I have some cup hooks in the ceiling, and I hang different stuff from those cup hooks.
Oh.
So it kind of depends on your window structure. So if you have anything where you can like, I also have a ledge on that windowsill. So like along the bottom of my window, I have like 4 or 5 pieces like this. And then I have like a big piece that hangs. And my husband is supposed to be rigging up like a smaller little contraption where I can put temporary pieces for viewing. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but yeah, just no suction cups.
Yeah, but maybe hook eyes on the top.
One of my favorite artists is Maggie Howard. She's in England, and she's written kind of a definitive book on outdoor mosaics. This is her book. Maggie Howard. And I recommend this if you think you're going to do any big installations. This book tells you how to do it. It's a little different than what we're doing today. You probably want to do she does a cement mix as a base, sets the stones, and then adds a dry mix, which would be grout, and then they spray it. So it's a way different when you work on a big scale like that. So that's a great book. And then these things that we put up are some Greek pebble mosaics from the 5th century BC. And they just, to me, look really modern. I like the palette they use. I think this is probably my favorite mosaic of all time. It's Dionysus riding a cheetah. I mean, that's really badass, right? But everything about it is just perfect. It's a 9 feet by 9 feet floor.
Wow. Greek or Roman?
It's Greek. This was from northern Greece, up near Thessaloniki. You been there? No. But I love the profile, the interaction with the animal and the person. He seems calm riding a cheetah. I was just going to read a little poem from the Metamorphosis. Can you deal with that? Sure. Lynxes in harness draw your car. Bacchantes and satyrs follow. The boxwood flutes begin to wail. Their music fills the hollow. Intoxicating clamor trails you upon your rambles. The ululations of your horde, their tambourines and cymbals. You just get the picture of action. And I think that's what you get from that. And some of these are from hunting mosaics. And then these, this one and this one are Jean Cocteau, 20th century, French artist. And he did a similar palette, but much more modern, kind of Picasso-esque designs and line work. And what else do we have? And then we have Maggie Howard. She does these great, beautiful animals. I love the swan. But as you can see, she sets a lot of the stones on end. And I think she recommends that because you get a really good grab in your mortar, and you can put them really close together so you don't get as much water in. Because they're big outdoor sidewalks and palazzos and gardens. What else? That's about it. I recommend the books. I've been sitting here working on a piece that I started the other day, and the bottom half I just did. And with this mortar, I mean, they're already gripped. And then what I'm going to do now while you're working is grout the top half with liquid grout. I've been putting it in a bottle, giving it a shake, and then...
What's liquid grout?
Well, I'm just putting more water in polyblend. because it sinks in among the stones. And you don't have to scrape it off as much. You can just run a brush through. So your stones are sitting up above the grout, giving it a nice texture. And that's about it.
So what consistency is that when you mix it?
The grout,
Yeah.
kind of like a loose yogurty kind of thing. I'm gonna do the bottles so you can come up and look.
Okay. Pat, can you just tell us, I know you've done a lot of work that's outdoors, and so any particular tips of what helps or what kind of things to think about if you're going to do something on the ground, for instance, when people are going to be walking?
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of work on the ground. That's what these pavers were before. I did run across a problem where it came up in a thread with Jane too. Thin set is not waterproof.
Right.
So I had put a thin set across the top of a sculpture that's outdoors, and it deteriorated pretty fast. So you have to grout it and seal it. And I used polyblend grout, and then I started using Black Diamond Wet Look. And I can pass around these chunks. They're kind of heavy. I'll just walk around with it so you can see what I did. But it's a beautiful surface if you use the Black Diamond. So this is a butterfly I did. You can see the shine. It's gorgeous. And so we have some of these little river rocks, and then a few of the tumbled gems, the bright colors. And I think a lot of you are using both. I can't believe how you guys took to it. It's so quiet in here.
For once.
I know, I was thinking, but the one I have somewhere around, so maybe I'll just.
That's what I ended up doing with the.
So cute. So cute. That's so cute.
Like, we were experimenting.
All right.
25 people that sign up are getting in.
They changed size on me. I thought we were 12 by 12.
Have classes there.
I might.
Pat, can we put glass on these?
If you're gonna put it outside, I think.
Well, the meeting started, huh?
I'm not going to, if you want any of mine.
This is very cool.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, look at you.
Hey, Renee.
How are you? What did you try then?
I got it in a weekend. Yes.
It's a hard meeting.
Yeah, always undoing shapes and colors, always doing a little gold, they did a little gold line.
And then, did you
This has been sitting in here having,
okay.
so it's setting up pretty quick.
But it's still a big use.
Yeah. I'm sure it dries much quicker once you lay it out.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.